Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Apex Investor Daily Update for Friday, August the 13th. I checked Wall Street Bets, and the big talk over there is Wish. They're just with doom and gloom over there about Wish, and it is down over 20%. Looking at their chart, it is clear that support is below 770. We've fallen below support. We actually touched down at 669 at the low. It opened at 669. That's support. I believe that is support right there. This is going to rebound most likely. It might go down to 6, but I don't see it really going lower than 6. This is support right here. So those people on Wall Street Bets, this is the time to buy. This might go right back up. Resistance is looking around 14 $14 to 27, no, 32. Okay, so 15 to 32 is looking like resistance. And so you have your support. This is the time to buy if you're very bullish on Wish. Okay, that's all for that one. I'm going to go over to MetaMaterials subreddit. Okay, so we're going to start with George Palikaris's Twitter. I should say go next here. And he tweeted 2 times today, one regarding the UK MetaMaterials network. Really pleased and excited to see MetaMaterials highlighted in the UK government's new innovation strategy, thanks to the hard work of a host of contributors, including input from the MetaMaterials network. In the second tweet, it says here, "Thank you, Jim and Real Money, for a great article, and looking forward to future discussions as we continue to execute our plan." And yesterday we saw a lot of what that plan entails in their Q2 earnings. So I'm going to read that article. It is from LinkedIn. Jim Collins is the author. I'm going to read it. This is looking to be an interesting article. So it says, "I'm following the wild ride of MetaMaterials. To say the least, it has been a wild ride. Canadian-based MMAT reports earnings after Thursday's closing bell." This is from yesterday. Stocks quoted in this article, MetaMaterials, and so on. What happens when a meme stock unmemes? Or is it dememes? I don't know the exact terminology, but I do know that wild share price swings are part of the territory when investing in stocks that have heavy retail ownership and strong representation on message boards. One such example is MetaMaterials, a NASDAQ-listed Canadian headquartered MetaMaterials company. I had the opportunity for a private call yesterday with George Palikaras, Meta's CEO. I am grateful to George for being so generous with his time in what is obviously a hectic time for the company. Meta recently announced the purchase of Nanotech Security, a leader in banknote security applications, for $91 million in cash. Meta has a strong IP estate and many verticals to attack, and as always, management can explain it better than I can. So from Meta's corporate presentation, point 1, our technology platform encompasses 3 core capabilities: holography, lithography, and wireless sensing. 2, Meta has 140 filed patents, 76 granted across 44 patent families, and 28 were granted. Thirdly, key verticals: 5G infrastructure, vehicle electrification, combined greater than 3 trillion in other verticals: advanced materials, IoT, medical, energy, aerospace, and automotive markets. It's an interesting story with a great patent estate and an impressive list of corporate partners. Meta would fit not only based on its Canadian domicile, with the 5 companies that presented 2 weeks ago at the conference sponsored by my firm, Excelsior Capital Partners, Naki Logix, Nano One Materials, Vicinity Motor, Lamico Metals, and Exro Technologies. All presented intriguing stories at the XCAP conference. There are so many great little companies working on changing the world from north of the border. Meta is an interesting story in its own right and worth checking out. That's it. End of column. Not even close, actually. Meta's Google stock price chart shows the fantastic wild ride Meta's shares have been on since the reverse merger with small one of my old favorite small cap energy names, Torchlight Energy. I don't have enough column inches to detail the amazing machinations that accompanied the merger of Meta and Torchlight, two companies that were the result of prior reverse takeover deals themselves, but I think the chart tells all. This was a There was a special dividend, an upsized equity offering, and a great deal of meme player interest in both companies. Torchlight shares went absolutely bananas before the combination was effected. The deal officially closed on June 28th and rose from a closing NASDAQ price of 452 on May the 21st to an intraday high of $21.76 on June 21st. Truly an incredible month, but as Sir Isaac Newton knew, what goes up must come down. Metamaterials is trading at $3.40 today, and the stock's round trip has been well and truly completed. Amazing. Meta's report earnings after the bell today. I should say Meta reports earnings after the bell today, and I look forward to hearing more about this fascinating story from a company that took advantage of the meme frenzy to add more than $100 million to its treasury via the transaction with Torchlight and other follow on offerings. Meta shares are trading lower today and actually crossed the $1 billion market cap threshold after hitting an almost inconceivable $5 billion valuation on that crazy day of June 21st. Mergers always lead to some pre closing funny business caused by arbitrageurs, and Meta Torchlight trading was obviously inflamed by retail interest from the StockTwits crowd and Wall Street Bets and Reddit. That is in the past now. I look forward to adding metamaterials to my coverage list for OHM research in Sao Paulo. It will fit nicely with Nano One, Vicinity Motor, Lomico Metals, Exro. Naki Logics is private. My guess is that metamaterial shares will cease the wild ride that has been ongoing the past 3 months, but I would watch out for more downside in metamaterials as the market, for once, attempts to value metamaterials based on fundamentals, not tweets. That's life in the markets in 2021. Never boring. So, yeah, that is a good article. And I don't know what it is about us, or maybe about me. I gravitate towards these stocks that take you for a wild ride. AMC, GameStop, metamaterials looks like that third roller coaster ride. Are we going to the moon? Is this rocket fueled up? We'll see. Going to metamaterial subreddit next, and I'll pick the noteworthy posts. Okay, so first post from the metamaterial subreddit. This was cross-posted on Wall Street Bets. Metamaterials is the first NASDAQ listed company that just released their earnings report after market hours. I'm not going to waste your time, just give you the dirty. This is pretty much regurgitation of yesterday. But anyway, severely undervalued company with great fundamentals, heavily shorted stock. Actually, this wasn't on the quarterly. Company does reverse merger to trap hedges on July 21st, piling FTDs T plus 35 due tomorrow, Friday, August 13th. CEO George Palikaras announces earnings deadline coming soon all week on Twitter, which fuels shorts hedge funds to short more, but end up wasting all ammo because the report dropped after market hours today, August the 12th. This is a unicorn company that is early stage growth. I just wanted to add here that regarding FTDs and T plus 35, I'm not going to set any dates. I think to say, August, whatever. Yeah, I said August the 10th and beyond, but I didn't say August the 10th is the exact date. I was saying that will be an inflection point. So going forward into the next, 6 months to a year, we're going to see a big turnaround, but it's going to take at least 6 months, maybe a year. Metamaterials is a nanotech platform company that owns IP, including 46 patent families, has development in the following. I'm not going to repeat this all. That's from the ER, the quarterly. Here's what's in the earnings report, 200 plus 200% year-over-year growth, 150 million in cash, zero debt, qualifies for Biden's infrastructure plan that allocates billions for semiconductor industry, developing AR light prescription glasses, and have developed non-invasive glucose monitoring tool with human trials that began in July 21st. This is a multi-billion dollar industry for diabetics. Look at Dexcom. Their stock is over $300 per share. Okay, currently pursuing multi-year, multi-million dollar contracts with OEM vendors for nanotech. Did I say this was a unicorn? Early stage two. And tomorrow's short hedgie's worst nightmare, with whales buying in massive quantities, as reported by Fintel today. Also shown on Fintel's institutional owners reveal House Speaker's husband investment firm Alliance Bernstein LP purchased almost 168,000 shares. I don't know if that's confirmed or not. And you already know House Speaker does not lose money. Plus, she voted for the infrastructure plan. The company is transitioning from development to sales, operations, and production. Furthermore, looking at the management team, you will notice they are leaders in their fields, with many holding multiple PhDs, masters, and law degrees. This is a super rock star team with access to talent from prestigious Stanford and MIT grad programs. With all these catalysts in play, I would not be surprised if this skyrockets into high double digits by the end of the year. Not financial advice. I like the stock. And yeah, so that's why I wanted to read that one first. Let's just sift through this and see what's worth reading. Okay, here's an interesting comment from this post. Metamaterials clocks 197% revenue growth in Q2. This comment is forecasting that the price target is $75.36 per share for metamaterials. So I just wanted to point that out. I find that really interesting. We'll see if that comes to pass. I think it will. Might take some time though. Okay, here's another good post called ER Update. The key takeaway for a company coming out of R&D is that they are being listed at the correct time in NASDAQ. The real catalyst, whether people realize it or not, is the nanotech merger or the acquisition of the nanotech. They mentioned the key benefits in the shareholder letter, that being increased production capacity at a significantly lower cost. This sentiment was conveyed in a LinkedIn message posted here a while ago by a Meta engineer, and now is confirmed by the shareholder letter if it was missed by people who listened to the merger webcast. Because of this, Meta should be able to dramatically improve earnings by Q4. It's a good point. Q3, since they have been focused on key staff hiring, their base is being strengthened. By Q4, no one can gripe on earnings because acquiring nanotech means that they will inherit earnings. Good point. Once the merger is complete, EPS, earnings per share, should improve modestly due to increased capacity and lower cost of production. At first glimpse, 197% Q2 revenue increase year to year and 88% H1 increase year to year is not too shabby for a company coming out of R&D. Excluding the one-time non-cash loss of 40 million financial instruments, which is probably capital depreciation, the earnings per share is a loss of 5 cents per share compared to 3 cents per share. When a company is growing, an increase in expenditures will affect earnings. I believe that the overall financial health of the company is pretty damn good. It is also important to note that due to the RTO, assets in the books are worth $460 million. So much for saying the stock is worth under a dollar. IP alone is worth its weight in value. Comment about asset for sale. If indeed this is the land owned, the value listed here would be the initial purchase price of said asset. When asset is sold, distribution of dividend and sale will cancel out and listed in the balance sheet, and any fees should hit the P&L. Nanotech financials. What to look for by the end of the year. Acquisition of nanotech should add product revenue of at least 1.6 million and 6.7 million of contract service revenue to 2021 when the financials are merged. This is based on 2020 numbers and assuming 6.7 million that was awarded for 2021 was actually performed. This also does not take into account nanotech's projected increase in revenue stated at 2020 report for 2021. $2.4 million of revenue for Meta pre-merger estimate will be projected year-end development revenue if H2 revenue is the same as H1. So essentially, With both companies' financials merged, Meta could potentially have $10.7 million in revenue for 2021. Both companies have virtually no debt. That's great. I had no idea. So now we know Nanotech also has no debt and are primed for growth and will have roughly $488 million in assets. What to look for in 2022. I just want to add before I read this paragraph is that Nanotech, what was stated in the earnings that although this is the revenue for Nanotech being talked about, they will now have the ability to double their production value, meaning the revenue numbers will likely double as well in the future. They're going to be multiplied. This is optimistic, but since production capacity is not an issue due to the acquisition, if sales are primed, there might actually be positive earnings per share as soon as third quarter of 2022. Key, is that EPS? Anyway, key indications will be more prevalent as partnerships and contracts are announced. They will now be able to handle sales as they come in, and as they ramp up to their planned capacity of 15 million square meters, they will be able to produce at maximum capacity $6.75 billion with whatever production rate their machinery can push out. I mean, literally, they're printing money. It's like a meme from Nintendo, but they're printing money. They basically can pump out as much as their salespeople can bring in business. Wonderful. And lastly, a word about unfair market valuation. I'll simply reference the link below. Companies worth billions, unprofitable. Oh, wow. So this person is saying these are companies that are worth billions and are unprofitable. Tesla, Uber, and Snapchat. And look where they are now. Yeah, great post. Really good post there. So look at the last one here. I don't know if it's worth reading, so I'll let you know. Okay, so this article actually did list Tesla as one of the unprofitable companies that have yet to make a profit in 2019. Wow, this this did not age well. Okay, moving on to the next post. Okay, this poster, he says that the Meta Materials dividend, I should say the preferred stock, which where dividend will be distributed, there's 77.9 million shares of preferred stock that need to be accounted for. So that is going to be an amazing occurrence once that is distributed. And most likely by April 1st, 2022, I'm giving that deadline, just a really conservative deadline. We're going to move on to FinViz and then look at the stock market. Our biggest loser of the day is Sesam Bio, American biotech company, negative 57% for them today. And the big winner today is Green Vision Acquisition, a American shell company. They're up 66% today. Now we're going to look at the trending stocks. Okay, looking at the trending stocks, not too many movers and shakers. Vine is down 10%. Bitcoin's up 46,000 US, and B Square is down 16%. I'm going to take a look at B Square, see if that's a entry point. HCMC is down 11%. Sundial is down almost 10%. AMC is at 33.47 per share, and GameStop's at 162.52. Some close ones that I saw was Sensonics. They're down almost 9%. And the other one was that other one that I saw up here. I think that was it. Yeah. Newegg is down 7%, and Arrival was down 9%. So we'll take a look at actually Meta Materials was down today 5%, which is kind of funny with such a positive earnings report. So it's up a little bit after hours, just a tinge there, but it was trading between $3.15 to $3.51. So it really had a spike early in the morning at $3.50 from $3.30 to $3.50. But this is wonderful. This bodes very well for us. I know it sounds kind of counterproductive, but The volume, look at the volume. It's so paltry, less than half. The volume is going to drive this stock to go higher. But if there's not a lot of volume going in, it's going to stay a little stagnant until a news catalyst arrives. So this is great. Any price below 330 is really strong support. So if you're buying at 330 and under, you're gonna make a lot of money if you hold on to this for a year. Just looking at their chart, the last month, you can see clearly support is at 311 and below, or actually 305 and below. That's really an apex investor entry point, 310 and below. So we're reaching closer to that. Really good, almost like a foolproof entry point where you're risking a lot less if you buy in, between $3, or actually I should say 310 and below. So this is really good if you want to get into the stock. Look at this chart. It's ridiculous how much attention has been put into the stock. A lot of people buying in the last month, and it hasn't really moved at all, which is showing incredible manipulation unseen of, has not been seen since AMC and GameStop. I mean, this is naturally how a stock would move up, kind of like, up, down, and then up again. But no, it's just flatlining because the hedgies are parked in here and they're not going to leave until, a news catalyst scares them away. So until the gloves come off, and George has to take the gloves off soon. And I think we're going to see that in the next 6 months to a year. B Square Corporation. Okay, let's look at this chart and see where's support for B Square. I'm just curious to see where that is. $2. Okay, it's looking like $2 is support. Apex Investor, I'm going to say $1.60 and below. But normal mode, if you're going with the normal difficulty, you're looking at I'm going to say 210 to 225. So we're really getting close to the support levels of $2.10 to 225. And once it hits that, this could go right back up to $8 because it looks like resistance is clearly $7, $8. Looking at the last year, yeah, it has hit $7, $8 pretty consistently, like on the money. So you could quadruple your portfolio just with this alone. This is a really safe investment. It just takes patience. You set your sell points, your price targets, buy in at $2.10 or 220, and sell it at $8. Wow, $7, $8. Great buy right there. So I approve of that trade. B Square is a very good stock. I can't think of anything else to say right now. I think we covered everything. We looked at Twitter. We looked at Kowalski's blog. Actually, I did that offline. He didn't post anything new. Looked at the subreddits there. Looked at the trending stocks. So that's all for today. Thank you very much for the support, for all the views, the likes, and subscribes. Appreciate it very much. This is going to be a long haul. Yeah, the storm has begun. Don't want to set dates, but I'm just going to give you a time frame. Again, if this stock, metamaterials, does not reach at least $4 by April the 1st, 2022, I'm going to shut down this channel, just delete it out of existence. That's how confident I am this stock is going to surpass expectations and at the very least, be at $4 or above by this time, come April 1st, 2022. So we've got less than, less than 8 months from now. So thank you again, and have a great weekend. God bless you all, and God bless your investments. Check back on Monday after the trading session is complete.